This message is brought to you by the original organic bedding and bath brand, Koyuchi.
As soon as I found out we were going to have a baby, I wanted to make sure that whatever we slept on or came into contact with was safe from toxins or anything harmful. So I bought Koyuchi sheets and towels. Koyuchi was exactly what we needed. Not only are they certified organic to the highest standards, they're also just amazing. We have the Koyuchi Organic Crinkled Percale Sheets. They're 100% organic cotton and woven to be naturally cooling, super soft, and breathable. And I honestly just sleep better with them. Of course, now our baby registry has a lot of Koyuchi on it too. Crib sheets, blankets, and a snuggle sack. All the best for him or her. Everything we have from Koyuchi feels good, looks good, and is safe for our whole family.
Get 15% off when you visit Koyuchi.com. That's Koyuchi.com to get 15% off. Koyuchi.com.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Very fun show lined up today over the next 3 hours. We'll get into a lot of NFL news. Major League Baseball updated numbers after the first weekend of August is in the books. Strong guest today on the program, VSiN host Mike Somich. NFL futures from him. John Calvecchio was just at the National Sports Card Convention in Chicago. He's also a sports bettor. He'll join us coming up in 90 minutes. And James Farah and Steven Shalansky, the two men who are basically in charge. They put together the Circa Survivor documentary every single year. This year, of course, is called The Quest for $14.2 million. Paulie and I have had a chance to see the first episode. We'll get into our observations and talk to those two fine men about it coming up a little bit later on. Paulie, so we'll begin in the National Football League. Again, plenty of news from the weekend to get into, and we'll start with, I think, what should be at this point a bigger national story than what it is. It's the back injury to Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford. Now, he went to go see a spine specialist. That made it the second time in 2 weeks he went to go see a doctor because of his back. McVay, this is before today, and I'll update you on what we have as of this minute coming up here momentarily. But when Sean McVay was asked about the Matthew Stafford situation over the weekend, he said, quote, "It's static throwing. It's some of the unloaded running on the treadmill. Sometimes it might even be walking. He's able to do a little bit of lighter cardio and able to do some core work," end of quote. And I know some in the fantasy community were freaking out over this, basically saying this is not where you want to be as you're approaching either the preseason, your first game, NFL week one, obviously more importantly, when you're 37 years old. I would agree with that. And here's the update from a couple of hours ago. According to X, multiple accounts are saying that McVay was asked about the Matthew Stafford situation, obviously from the media. He deflected it, and he pointed out how fortunate the team is to have a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo as the backup quarterback.
Is that the right word? They love this guy. I don't get it.
Well, I don't like the way that sounds at all.
I know. Oh, it changes everything.
Oh, my level of concern factor is about 6.4 right now, and it's going up.
Yeah, I'm with you. Big time. With that age, and he's seeing a specialist for the second time, season right around the corner. I also think of our buddy Mike Pritchard. Okay, well, they just shoot him up with the good stuff, and it won't be a problem. But he's not getting hit yet. What happens when he gets hit?
I know.
You got a back
This
problem
is the
already?
back we're talking about,
Yeah,
not
I
the
know.
knee.
Yeah, right.
You know, a knee obviously very difficult as well. It doesn't matter what kind of athlete you are, but the back, you have a bad back. I have a horrible lower back.
Right.
What's your sleeping like on a daily basis?
Sure.
Now, you're not a professional athlete or a quarterback. I get that, but a bad back, total game changer.
I know. And then your level of concern about the backup position. It's not like Garoppolo he got injured a lot too. Then you're going into Stetson Bennett territory.
Oh, God, I don't even want to hear
something
I don't even
happens.
want to hear that name.
So what's he worth to the point spread? What he means futures? It opens a door for the Arizona Cardinals and stuff like that. The fantasy implications, right? So, yeah, Jimmy's won some games, but I remember when Shanahan was scared to death in a playoff game and was just running the ball and refused to throw it against the Vikings because Garoppolo had a couple picks early. So,
I know.
He's a veteran, but it's a game changer and changes the landscape of the NFC if something's wrong here. But this is definitely a cause for concern what's going on, and all you need to know is how McVay's answering questions.
You're exactly right. From a fantasy and from a betting standpoint, like currently speaking, if you are, and I'm in the middle, I just started a draft today, right? It's one of these ones where you have to, it's an auction draft, and it takes like 12 hours to determine which guy's going to land the pick, so it takes a long time. However, if you are beginning drafts or looking at season-long player props, I mean, the average draft positions right now on Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, just based on this, to me, they feel like they're a tad high. Mm-hmm. And it's, again, one reason why our buddy Chris Earl, he bets every single receiving prop under on the year. I talked about that a month ago when he gave me all the information, because so many things can happen to make the under easier than the over coming in, right? And again, maybe Stafford goes out and plays 17 games and he's in the mix of the MVP. I don't know. But this makes me panic a little bit and certainly not want to play Devontae Adams over anything, or Puka Nacua, the same thing. Mm-hmm. Now, if it actually...
I also like what you said earlier. It's not getting enough attention. This should be a big deal, and not like what toy is being thrown on the court of the WNBA game. This is a big deal,
right?
What's happening, because the NFL is king, and it's not even close.
Well, so there's a doctor, and I love Twitter doctors, right? It's just, be careful with this. They're always trying to tell you what the injury is on TV when they're not there. But there is one of these guys who's popular with doing this with the NFL. He ranked his biggest preseason injuries. He's got Joe Mixon with the foot and the ankle, number 1. Khalil Shakir, which came out over the weekend, high ankle sprain, wide receiver Bills, number 2. He's got Stafford down at number 8.
No way. This is number 1. This is your big boy.
Oh, this changes the entire landscape of the NFC.
Yeah.
And, to go back to remind, for the new audience here, many, many, many months ago, the day that Stafford announced he was coming back to play for the Rams, I bet this team 30-1 for the Super Bowl. If he's not on the team, I don't even consider betting this team.
Yeah.
No way, no how.
Right. That's also getting lost. What happened? They come all the way back there in position inside the red zone to beat Philadelphia on the road and maybe go to the Super Bowl. That's right. But he's got to be number 1 on this too. But this is all the news in the NFL, where you're talking about this is the injury and what's going around about camp. But you got Parsons demanding a trade. McLaurin demands a trade, won't show up. Cook won't go to practice. So
asked several times what he's doing in street clothes, business.
That's right.
Only thing he'd say. So let me ask you this. That tied into the Shakir injury when they're using the phrase week to week, and I believe I saw this correctly. The Bills are going to be on Hard Knocks this year. 3 reasons to get on board with Lou Finicaro if you haven't already. He came on last week and made a brilliant case to bet the Bills win total under this year, despite a top 5 easiest schedule in the entire league. He pointed out, did a masterful job at saying everything that went right for the Bills last year is basically unsustainable for the next season.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is just the new way of negotiating, where I've tried everything and I'll get my way. It worked out for Garrett, but we'll see if this is the new way of, we're not getting anywhere. I'll demand a trade, and we'll see if we can get things done. I thought Diana Rossini said something interesting, that while she doesn't think Jones will trade Parsons, she thinks the relationship is fractured and damaged, and there's hurt feelings. Because, again, he's going around and won't talk to the agent, so it's face-to-face. And that kind of stuff is, what do you bring to the table? Here's what I bring to the table. And he feels like he could be insulted as well. How Hendrickson's going to... he could change his mind, too.
Sure he could.
What if he goes, that's it, I'm out of here. I don't want to be here. And then suddenly the horrible defense gets worse.
No doubt.
So I don't know what's going to happen in the next month. But all this is big, and maybe it's much ado about nothing, and everyone gets their way, and okay, calm down. But Bean's bothered by it. He didn't know this was coming with what Cook did, so...
Sure, didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
By the way, Jerry Jones, the unfortunate part here that's been going on forever, as the owner of that team, there's nobody to step in and say anything to the guy. Nobody can just say, Jerry, knock it off. This is absolutely ridiculous, because it's all family. There's no GM. He's the guy who runs everything. And so whatever he likes, whatever he wants to do is what's going to happen with the organization.
Yeah, but he's running it ass backwards. Remember on Hard Knocks, he goes, we like the sizzle?
It's comical.
I know. So they can't win anything. So the only way to get in the headlines is do stuff off the field or say something. And that's what he likes, and that's how he's conducting business, which is silly.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So there are a bunch of other quarterback spots that are still up in the air. On the Indy-Baltimore preseason game coming up this week on Thursday, Colts coach Shane Steichen said that he has decided how he's going to proceed at quarterback, but he's not ready to say it publicly yet.
Well, in any event, though, as a result, a big move. because you got both guys who are playing, and whoever doesn't start will play the majority
of game two.
Game two.
Right.
So now, remember, for those, you bet preseason football. Yeah, you're damn right. The Ravens won 24 games in a row. So the Ravens open 1, and the Colts are as high as 4.5 here.
How do you think?
Thursday
Yeah.
at
What do you make
Circa.
of that?
That's right. So a team that doesn't care, a team that won't play people against a team with a quarterback competition. That's great.
And both guys are going to go out there and try their asses off to win that, obviously, number one spot. But, I mean, so then you miss out on a line move like that, and obviously, I'm not going to bet it now at 4.5, right? Would you consider coming back on the Ravens here with that big number based on how they've played in the last 5-6 years overall? It came back to the pack a little bit, but
it might keep going.
Huh?
You never know. That's a tough one, right? And I'm also seeing Rattlers as high as $1.80 to start week 1 now for the Saints.
I've seen that, yeah.
Yep.
I'm surprised by that. But kind of tells you, but Shuck was a second-round pick? It's not that good?
That's what the Tillier told us. Yeah. And it's been bad reviews in camp. You were on vacation that week. And bad reviews from camp, right?
Yeah. Here, by the way, another game, the Raiders taking on the Seahawks. I think the early interest here, and certainly from the betting market, would tell you was the side that I was looking at as well. It would have been on the Raiders because Mike McDonald, the head coach of the Seahawks, came out and said the starters are not going to go on Thursday. According to like every report, it's preseason practice, so tread lightly here. But Geno Smith and especially Aiden O'Connell are getting strong reviews, and you would think that Pete Carroll came in to change the entire culture here of this organization, and doesn't he kind of want to go out there and look good and make a statement here right away?
Yep. Well, they agree. Raiders plus 1.5 to -2 at Circa.
I'd say if you play the Raiders still, you got to go money line.
That's right.
I don't want to, in the preseason, I don't want to lay 2 when you could have grabbed 1.5 and it lands 1 or 2.
4-point move on the Bengals as well. Pick up to 4.
Yep.
And money on the Lions from 1 up to 3.5, and a 5-point move on the Broncos as well.
Yeah, the Lions game, by the way, Hooker's going to get the start. Allen's going to play the second half. There's second half opportunities here. Keep in mind, he had those 2 INTs against the Bolts and looked absolutely terrible last week.
Right. Yep. College Guide drops tomorrow. Can't wait. Join the team now. Go pro with VSiN. NFL Guide's out. Get the College Guide tomorrow. Get them both. Get every pick, every host, every guest, the betting splits, the dog videos, the access to the tools and data, 24/7 video on the VSiN Watch app, all the Makinen trends. Excellent job today, Makinen. How about that trend where there's a pitcher going today that's won 13 in a row when he's higher than a $1.80 favorite? How about that? $9.99. Get in full year. Save 50% with a VSiN Pro annual subscription. VSiN.com, sucker.
All right, so we're down to the final 2 months of the regular season in baseball. Books are basically saying nothing to see here. Everybody needs to calm down as it continues to go south for this team.
This message is brought to you by the original organic bedding and bath brand, Koyuchi.
As soon as I found out we were going to have a baby, I wanted to make sure that whatever we slept on or came into contact with was safe from toxins or anything harmful. So I bought Koyuchi sheets and towels. Koyuchi was exactly what we needed. Not only are they certified organic to the highest standards, they're also just amazing. We have the Koyuchi Organic Crinkled Percale Sheets. They're 100% organic cotton and woven to be naturally cooling, super soft, and breathable. And I honestly just sleep better with them. Of course, now our baby registry has a lot of Koyuchi on it too. Crib sheets, blankets, and a snuggle sack. All the best for him or her. Everything we have from Koyuchi feels good, looks good, and is safe for our whole family.
Get 15% off when you visit Koyuchi.com. That's Koyuchi.com to get 15% off. Koyuchi.com.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Okay, really looking forward to this segment. VSiN host Mike Somich joins the program now. His show on the weekends is called Ready, Set, Bet, and he joins us here on the Progressive guest line. Mike, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing well, guys. I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to talking through this segment here. I think it's going to be exciting stuff.
We'll try to squeeze in like at least one NFL future bet from you coming up, but this was a big story going back to at least last week, where bettors using, doing the computer-assisted wagering with horse races horse racing, they were in the news for many, many reasons, and it took off going viral on social media. Some accounts that were tweeted like into my timeline and everything. Can you explain why CAWs, as they are called, made headlines last week and why this is a good thing for the public?
Yeah, so CAWs, computer-assisted wagering, is a type of account that bets into racetracks all across the country. And what that is it's an algorithm that essentially decides what the off odds or the projection for an exacta or trifecta odds should be. And then because of specific advantages, which I'll mention in a second here, they're able to bet the exact dollar amount to move the odds to just slightly above that. So if, let's say at Del Mar 2 weekends ago, when this really started to catch some steam, we saw some horses drop from 15-1 to 5-1 the moment that the gate broke open. We saw horses drop from 43-1 to 19-1 right when the gate broke open. And that was essentially these computer-assisted wagering accounts, these CAWs, betting the exact correct amount to put them just above positive expected ROI based on their algorithms. And the reason and the way they're able to do that is because they have a different access to the pool than your general everyday bettor. Like, if you or I go on and we're going to bet the horses, you pull up your Express Bet account, right? You open it up and you have access right until about 10 seconds before the gates break open, and then you're shut out. Well, these are directly tied into the pools, these computer-assisted wagering accounts, so they can bet up to the split second that the gate opens. And they're also using a computer to bet. So instead of myself who has to bet, $10 to win on the one, send, they can make thousands upon thousands of transactions inside of a second to be able to get best access to the way to set the prices inside of these pools. And so on top of that, they also get rebates that are significantly larger than every normal player. So based on using these accounts, they make deals with the racetracks. If I bet X $1 million at Del Mar this summer, I'll get X rebate from that $1 million. Those are going to be significantly higher because the volume is significantly higher. And over the years, we have seen the percentage of bets grow and grow and grow. And I don't know the exact number, but it's rumored to be, I've read in multiple places, 30% of the current handle in America is through these computer-assisted wagering accounts. So they have massive, massive ways to move markets. And that really came to a head at Del Mar. And we saw that movement there 2 weekends ago. And because of it, it's become a national story. And that's good. It should be, because it's a disadvantage for the everyday player. Now, Del Mar made an adjustment. You can no longer, a computer-assisted wagering account can no longer bet into the win pool in the last 2 minutes before a race. So we won't see those massive odd movements moving forward at Del Mar. That means that pool to me is more playable because you have a very good idea of what price you're going to get on those horses. But it also means the money is going to move from that pool to other pools by computer-assisted wagering. The exacta pool, the trifecta pool, even things like the pick 4, the pick 5, they're going to move their money into that. Maybe not as large amounts, but they are going to move their money over there wherever they find any discrepancy in what their numbers say.
What would you do? Because we were talking to a friend of ours who did the same, and he thought, hey, he went from 15-1 to 5-1. Wait a second, I bet him at 15, and now he wins it at 5. How would you do this?
Well, the funny thing is that horse racing is so in bed with computer-assisted wagering, you can't just turn it off, right? Mm-hmm. You would take too much of the handle away, and the racetracks would not know how to adjust and how to figure out how to move, how to be able to create enough revenue to be able to be successful. You look at Del Mar, they made this change 2 weeks ago. Their revenue from last year's Sunday to this year's Sunday was down 19%. The total amount bet was down 19%. Now, they saw a spike the first day after they announced this, but it's been down ever since. And that's because computer-assisted wagering isn't going to bet as large amounts in the win pool as they would in the exacta and the trifecta pool. So you're not seeing the same amount invested from CAWs into those pools. Honestly, at some point you have to make a decision. Like, are you going to allow CAWs to run the track? Or are you going to let the general public have a fair shot? And how much are you taking away from your bottom line revenue? And can you operate as a racetrack if you do so? The thing is, everyone complains about this, but I don't think that the revenue from these racetracks jumps 30% if all of a sudden one racetrack just shuts out CAWs. I do think you should shut them out of the win pool 2 minutes before the race, every single track in America. Okay. I'd love to see it in the exacta and the trifecta pool too. But at some point, these racetracks have to decide, at what point can we not experience this level of pain? We have to allow these accounts in so that we can be profitable.
Great answer. And I think to give the audience here a good answer as to how many bets can come in at once. And it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, VSiN host Mike Somich. His show is called Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown on the weekends. Great show. This is a tweet from Steve Anderson. This goes back to Thursday, Mike, who said an official at Del Mar reached out to clarify there was a winning ticket on a late pick 5 that cashed out for more than $476,000. This was from a CAW bettor who spent $108,000 on thousands of different tickets and combinations. And that just tells me, as soon as I saw that, well, that happens every single day, who knows how many times across the country.
Well, the crazy part of that, and this is the part that they're not even saying in the press release, that ticket scooped the pool. The whole pool was $476,000. And so that one CAW player took it down. Now, that also means they bet 25% of the pool. So you can see the level of play that is being pushed into this pool by that one computer-assisted wagering account. Just one of them. That's not
right.
all of them. That's a single one. And they got the whole pool because they had all of these different combinations. I would venture to bet the mass majority of those combinations were all put in the final 10 seconds before the gate opened. So you would see, they would be able to see, okay, what horses do we believe are overvalued, undervalued, and where can we try and make hay? The crazy part too, they were only alive to one horse in the last race. Just one of the 12 horses in the final race of the pick 5. If any other horse had won, it would have been a carryover to the next day, and they would have been out $108,000. But they got the right horse home, and that account ended up making over $300,000. But it shows you that's a single CAW account betting 25% of the pick 5 pool, the late pick 5 pool, at one of the biggest bet tracks in America.
This is a lot like Alan Woods at Hong Kong, don't you think?
Right, yeah.
The similarities? Wild. Some of it, yeah.
Yeah. Anything else that we need to know about this?
The only two tracks right now that are limiting CAW wagering in any way, shape, or form are Del Mar and Naira. So Saratoga right now, if you want to play into the win pool, the last 2 minutes, CAWs are locked out. Same with Del Mar. So I do believe that those are better bets for the general public at this point, because you don't have drastic odd changes and they cannot affect the price down to what they expect the price to be or what their algorithm says the price should be on specific horses.
Very good. Okay, Mike, I want to sneak in, we can keep going on this, but I want to sneak in an NFL bet with you as well, because you love betting that sport as well. Now here we are in August. A lot of these numbers have moved, but give us a bet or 2 or 3, whatever it is that you still really, really like right now.
I like the Dolphins under a lot, but it has moved to the point where I think it's getting close to hard to bet that one. I just don't see how this defense is going to be good, specifically in the secondary. It's absolutely a mess. It's Mika Fitzpatrick and 4 dudes like me who are out there right now. I don't see how it works with this defense, and I don't trust this offense. The easiest part of their schedule is late in the season, and 3 of the 5 games are on the road in snow spots. So I like them under, but this has been bet to a point where it's hard to play aggressively on the under. My favorite bet out there right now, give me the Houston Texans to win the AFC South, plus 110.
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's plus money.
Yeah.
I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. This is, in my mind, the best defense in football down in Houston. You have 2 elite edge rushers, very good linebacking core, and a phenomenal secondary. I understand the offensive line issues. That's where the big concern is. They might need to score 17 points a game to be able to win this division. Look, the Titans are a dumpster fire. I don't believe in this Colts team. You look at the Jaguars, and they just have never been able to put it together. And the Jags defense is still putrid. And the Colts defense is not any good. And there's no way it's Cam Ward upsetting this division. I think the Texans could go under their win total at 9.5 and still win the AFC South. So I like the Texans plus 110 in the AFC South quite a bit. I'll give you one more that I found today. Bryce Young, over 3,250 yards passing this season. He had 224 yards per game after he kind of figured himself out last year. If he goes on that pace, all he has to do is play 14 games, and he goes over that number. So I like Bryce Young over 3,250 yards passing as well.
Very good. You can follow Mike on X. He is at Samobomb18. Get his show with Matt Brown on the weekends called Ready, Set, Bet. With football coming up, by the way, they do an excellent job on Saturdays with a contest show. Some of the best that we have, some of the best programming we have, in my opinion, the entire week on the network. Mike, thanks so much today. That was really, really well done.
Yep, you got it, guys. I appreciate having me on to talk about it.
Be good. There you go. Mike Somich on the Progressive Guest Line. Wild, man. The guy scooped the entire pot. 25% of the pool, took it down.
And the regular guys are saying, I'm not going to do this anymore. This is unfair. They get rebates. They're coming in like last second. I'm out. So quite the conundrum here. Great story.
Win some, lose some is next. A man has finally come to grips with the worst beat you've ever heard of, ending his 12-year search. The search might be over, but he will never, ever have closure.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, really looking forward to this conversation. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Paulie and I used to collect cards when we were younger.
Big.
I haven't opened up a pack probably in 25 years, maybe more than that. Had a great collection, was super proud of it, but I don't know, just tapped out, stopped doing it. And so John Calvecchio joins the program now. His business is called Sports Connection. He is big time into sports cards, but he also likes to bet on sports as well. I'm going to ask him if there's a correlation there when you pay attention to both of them. And the National Card Collection just got over with in Chicago. Thanks for coming in studio today. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. Been a big fan for a long time.
So how long have you been in the business?
Full time since 2010.
2010. Can you explain what happened? Because we've been on the air since 2017, and we would bring it up occasionally, not get much of a response. Then the pandemic happened, and everybody was like, my God, these cards are going through the roof all of a sudden. Take us through that stretch of time.
So in the beginning, I used to just buy and sell deals. I used to go to shows. I used to have customers contact me, and I would just buy and sell deals, work on a margin. I would grade the cards, which would enhance the value if I got the right grade. And then in 2015, somebody approached me and said, hey, there's this thing that's going to revolutionize the way cards are collected. You'd be perfect for it. Your personality's great. You're going to become an internet personality, opening cards for people on camera.
Yes.
What happened was people only wanted certain teams or players. So the boxes were getting a little expensive. So instead of opening a box and maybe not getting the player that you want or the team that you like, you can pay a fee based on what was in that product and only get the cards of your team. It allowed you to be able to buy more and have more shots at the cards that you really wanted. So I did that starting in 2015. I was one of the very first people. Started with a MacBook Pro facing down. I know nothing about computers or the internet, just know how to talk to people and loved cards. And from there, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I met this guy. He was buying cards from me. I traded him cards for work in my house. I went from the kitchen table to the dining room table to an office in the basement. And Tony redid my office for me. I paid him in cards. And then from there, it just kept growing. And in September of 2019, the same guy said, hey, what do you think about me quitting my job? I'll work for you full time. Let's open a store. So that's what we did. We were supposed to open March 14th, 2020. March 12th, the world shut down. I thought I sevened out. Thought I was done. Forget about it. And it was the exact opposite. The prices of sports cards went to the moon.
Wait, how long did it take?
Oh.
After the world shut down on March 12th?
3 months. 3 months.
And just all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, what is happening?
I started selling early. I said, who's gonna have money for cards? Starting in like early March, like March 1st, when all the news started coming out, I was like, I'm dead in the water. What's gonna happen here? We got to start selling. I said, we're gonna go broke. I said, this is crazy. How did this happen? How did we go from this little thing in the basement to the world's closing? I got a guy on the payroll. He's got a wife and kids. What are we gonna do? Over the next 3 months, it went absolutely bananas. I'll give you one story. I had this guy call me with a deal up in the Poconos. If you know the Poconos, it's the mountains. There's nobody there except vacationers. I text this guy, I go up to see him. His dad had a store. I'm driving through this mountain. There's no homes, nothing. I see this little dirt road. I go up the hill. I go into the guy's house. He brings out a box that his dad had from the store. There was 100 Kobe Bryant Topps rookies, which were very common cards at the time. Very common. At the time, this is January of 2020, these cards are $10 each. Bring them home. I was a hoarder. My wife hated me. She hated my guts. There were cards everywhere. Everywhere. Hated my guts. That's why she sent me to the basement. So I have these cards stashed. The world closes. Next thing you know, cards are going crazy. These cards go from $10 a piece ungraded. They went to like $1,500 a piece PSA 10.
Get out.
Swear to God.
This is crazy.
It was absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
If you owned cardboard in 2020, you couldn't help but win. You won.
Has it slowed down much?
So what happened was the industry's evolved. So we went from everything being worth money. These influencers came in the hobby and they were absolute poison. They were poison. They were giving really bad advice. They were just telling people to buy this, buy that, buy this. They buy everything. And it was just bad advice. Imagine like a tout service that just keeps giving losers, but he's got great marketing and people just keep listening.
Or 80% for the last 3 months, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
There you go. Buy the second-year card. Buy this. Buy the fifth-year card. Buy anything. And they were just wrong and wrong and wrong, but because they knew how to market on the internet, they did well. So it slowed down, and in about 2022, the market came down, but it was still significantly high. The National in Atlantic City, the year that Trey Lance was a rookie, no joke, me and my buddy, we opened a case of cards. It was the most expensive product. It was called National Treasures. They were like $4,000 a box. We opened 4 of them. We're in for $16,000. We pull a Trey Lance jersey autograph numbered to 10. I thought this guy was going to stink, but all these influencers were hyping him up. At the National that summer, I sold the card for $100,000, and right now you can buy one for like $3,000. So to answer your question, how much has it come down? On the really bad players, that's how much it's come down.
Wow. So basically, this is a form of betting almost. It's a form of gambling.
I call it a cardboard casino.
Cardboard casino.
Yeah,
very
strap
good.
in.
Yeah, very good.
You got to strap in.
Yeah. So you started this, but I know our Sean Deeb, the poker player, mentioned this, that poker player Jared Blesnick.
Yeah,
He does it live at the poker table during the World Series of Poker.
It was wild.
Yeah, you
just open it right
people
up.
get enough. You come and you bid. I'm going to open up the box of cards live, and then we got a piece of it, or what? How that works, and that's just taken off and exploded.
Exploded. Started in 2015, and it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay, so we're growing up. The big thing was like the Griffey rookie card, and then you'd wait for the Beckett guide to come in the mail, whatever, or get the Jordan '85 Fleer rookie, whatever. But now I see my buddy. Last week, he goes, I got the Mahomes rookie card. I go, that's nice. Yeah, it's $10,000.
Oh, yeah.
This is nuts.
And that's on the lower end of the nicer. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah.
So how about the grading then?
The grading?
The grading is,
yep.
Okay, the difference between a 10, a 9. Take us through that.
Yep. So I'll just give you an example. Okay. There was a card from 1997, Tim Duncan's rookie. It was Kobe Bryant on one side, Tim Duncan on the other side. It was a refractor, which is called a parallel. So when I say parallel, picture like the base version of a vehicle and then a level up, if that makes sense. And there's only 6 PSA 10s in the world, okay? Only 6. So it's very tough to grade because of the surface, how old the card is.
Yeah.
People didn't know this stuff was going to get crazy. And I sold one at the show. The last one sold, and we can look at public record. The last one sold for $3,200. I sold mine for $4,000. The guy said, but the last one did $3,200. I said, hold your breath, find another one. Paid the $4,000. So when you have rare stuff, you can control the market. Now, an ungraded version of that card, a 9, a couple $100.
Is that right? That's the difference right there?
That's the difference.
That's the difference.
Yeah. So here's, I still have at my place right now a Ricky Henderson Topps rookie card, right? Everybody knows that one, the yellow jerseys in a stance. Yeah. A PSA 10, what does that grade out
Massive.
for?
You're putting me on the spot, I don't know, but a PSA 10 is so rare. Mitch, it's a gigantic card.
I want to say I saw one go for like $150,000.
Not surprised.
However, mine, one of the corners is bent.
Yep.
Has been for years. Don't know how that happened. It just got there somehow, and now it's probably worth 14 cents.
So to give you an idea, I used to joke. When people used to ask me what I did for a living, I would tell them I sell cards. They would go, oh. Then in 2020, when the world exploded, it's on the news, it's this, Fanatics is involved, everybody wants to get in. Oh, what does your husband do for a living? He buys and sells baseball cards. Oh, my God, tell me more about that. Just like gambling. Right? It was this thing you're calling Three-Fingered Lou in the phone, putting your bets in on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
And now it's like the same people that were looking at you funny are all sitting at the dinner table saying, hey, what are we playing? What are we firing? Fire it in.
Well, so you're going to hang around for another segment. I want to get the correlation here between like knowledgeable sports card people and sports betting, because I have an example from last year. Mm-hmm. You told me, Mitch, now's the time to get in on Paul Skeens. Like, how much does it help you out overall? Can you give us an idea of like how much money was involved this past week at the National Convention in Chicago? Like, what did you see stuff going for?
It was unbelievable. A friend next to me sold a card for $210,000. Guy pulled the cash right out of his bag, threw it on the thing, threw it on the table.
Just backpack. Here you go. Here's $200,000.
If I set the over/under at number of people that entered the door, I would set it at 90,000. I would say it's
over how many days?
5 days. In unique people, not the same people coming back.
Yeah, gotcha.
Over under 90,000 unique people. There's 600 dealers, and I thought a lot about this before I came on the show to give this number. I would set the over-under on dollars transacted at $250 million. $250 million over those 5 days.
It's that big?
It's gigantic. You had to walk sideways down the aisles. You had to walk sideways. There were kids.
Young people, old people, what do we
Everybody.
Everybody.
What are your big boys? Otani rookie, Mahomes rookie, skiing stuff, all this?
Otani, Mahomes. Now, you got to remember, basketball and Otani are the kings, and I'm going to tell you why.
Really?
The Asian market.
Okay.
These people will... Cards are worth more to them than anything. That's all they care about, sports cards. Basketball and Japanese players.
Like 35 seconds here. What's the biggest Otani card going for now?
Oh, God, 7 figures. If somebody actually found the one-on-one, if it came for sale, millions. There's a Jordan LeBron that's on auction right now, okay? It's going to go, it's a one-of-one. The key part of a basketball card is the logo man, right? You know the logo man, the Jerry West logo? Mm-hmm. It's a Jordan, and I'm sorry, it's a Jordan and Kobe, dual logo man, one-of-one. It's going to go for between 10 and 12 million.
What? This is crazy.
I know the guy that sold it.
Yeah?
In 2017. 160. It's going to go for 10 to 12 million.
That's Bitcoin right there. We're going to continue. John Kilvecchio's in studio, owns Sports Collection, and I want to honestly get the answer here from like being knowledgeable about sports cards and sports betting. Like, does it help out? Are they intertwined? We'll ask him that coming up next.
This message is brought to you by the original organic bedding and bath brand, Koyuchi.
As soon as I found out we were going to have a baby, I wanted to make sure that whatever we slept on or came into contact with was safe from toxins or anything harmful. So I bought Koyuchi sheets and towels. Koyuchi was exactly what we needed. Not only are they certified organic to the highest standards, they're also just amazing. We have the Koyuchi Organic Crinkled Percale Sheets. They're 100% organic cotton and woven to be naturally cooling, super soft, and breathable. And I honestly just sleep better with them. Of course, now our baby registry has a lot of Koyuchi on it too. Crib sheets, blankets, and a snuggle sack. All the best for him or her. Everything we have from Koyuchi feels good, looks good, and is safe for our whole family.
Get 15% off when you visit Koyuchi.com. That's Koyuchi.com to get 15% off. Koyuchi.com.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you live downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Of course, the location for Circa Millions, Circa Survivor, where our next two guests were shooting the Quest for $14.2 million, a documentary which is going to debut tomorrow night, 6 p.m. out here on the West Coast, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. James Farah and Steven Shalansky in studio with us here. Gentlemen, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having us back.
Doing great. Happy to be here. Yeah, a lot of hard work going into this bad boy. We were talking about this before the break. You guys were basically shooting this nonstop. I can't imagine how many hours of footage you have to go through to put this thing together. Last year before this date, right? Probably, June, July of last year?
It's been over a year of filming this thing, and we're excited to finally get it out tomorrow.
Yeah, and as a testament to that, we had so much content because we really, we did season 1. We weren't sure how much we had, and we broke that down into 5 episodes, which turned out really well. This year we went in like full force, and now we're coming out with 10 episodes. We're doubling the number of episodes. It's that much content that we have to break down over the course of filming for, as James said, an entire year.
Yeah, 20 full weeks, right? 18 weeks of the regular season plus the holiday games. Plus, we did a ton of pickup shoots. We went to Golden Knights game. We went to concerts on Fremont. We went down to Phoenix to film some guys. We've done all kinds of stuff that's been really unique for this show. And as Steven just touched on, we went from 5 episodes from the Quest for $9.2 million to 10 episodes for the Quest for $14.2 million.
Yeah, so Paulie and I each watched episode 1. It gets off. I love the music like at the beginning. It's popping right away. It puts you in a good mood. I have a lot of takeaways. I think maybe my biggest takeaway from episode 1, the amount of people who on camera for this episode, I can't imagine how many people did this overall, who said, I'm in from New York. I came in today. I just got here. I'm flying out tonight. How many people came in from across the country? I don't know, across...
around the world.
Around the world for like a day, and they got out of here just to sign up. the only reason why they came to Vegas.
It's true, and we actually pared that segment down because we could have that segment alone could have gone.
We could have made that 3 episodes.
Yes, because we have so many people coming in, and it was great. Especially the second time around, because the documentary had been released already for the first season, so people were familiar with it. People were tracking us down to be on camera, to be part of it because they wanted to be interviewed. We had so many individuals that we filmed during sign up, and we had to really select just a handful for the actual episode. But we could have fleshed that out so much longer because we had people coming in from all over the place.
Here's what's also I couldn't believe early in the episode, and it's fantastic. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. So you had chaos last year, and you're going to get into it. You had almost 97% of the field eliminated by third week.
Yes.
But then you might get 21,000 people this year. How about the guy who says, "Oh, mark my words, take it to the bank, get 150,000 people in this by 2030"? What do you think of stuff like that in predictions?
It's possible. I mean, this thing grows every year, right? It grew 50% year over year from 9.2 to 14.2. The guarantee for 2025 is 15 million. The projections are saying 21, 22 million. It could blow past that. So in a handful of years, it could get up to that level. I mean, that's a big number, but why not?
And you know what I think? It makes me think we're going to need more cameras.
Yes. Well, what's the best case scenario? Is it Jessica Hearns winning? Could it be something like that? She's in it again?
Yes, it would be.
She's in the documentary.
And we have it would be wonderful to have a woman go all the way and be part of the winning group. Every year now it's more likely, especially with more people playing, that the pot will get split at the end. There'll be more than one team that gets all the way through. So why not have different representations of different teams who make it all the way through? That would be great.
So the one thing we can't control is what happens, right? Our job is to document each week and then the picks and then the results of that, what that means, how many people are left, how much money's in the pot, all of that. But what we can't control is what happens.
Right.
Who picks what team and then the results of that. So then once the season's over, Steven and I have to go through the footage and then say, okay, which characters did what, who said what, who's interesting, how do we develop them throughout the series, all of that. So that's kind of the work that Steven and I have to do, is to kind of make the show flow, if you will, and tell the story, the best way that we can. But this year is very unique, and as you just touched on, right? 97%'s out after a handful of weeks. So then Steven and I look at each other and says, "Everyone's gone.
Right.
Who are we supposed to talk to now?"
This past season in particular, we really said, "Oh my gosh, we've just if 97% of the pool is out." 97% of the people we're talking to are out. So we've got no one else to talk to. So that's why we got to do our research. We've got to find new contestants. We've got to bring more people in. We've got to do outreach. VSiN helps us with that. Bring more people in, find more contestants who are still alive, and then pick up their stories as we go along.
One of the really unique things that we have quite a bit of in this season is user-generated content, where people send us stuff, sweating games in New York and in Miami and in Minnesota and in Nebraska and in Texas, because obviously we're not all those places at once. So even if we can't find certain people, we put out messaging that says, hey, if you're still in it, tell us who you're picking this week, show us your sweat, show us at your favorite bar. So we have some really unique player perspectives that we haven't had in the past, which makes this season really special.
I thought Indiana Jet was great.
Yes.
Follow the money viewer since day one. But he said, what did he say? I'm bank famous?
I'm bank famous. Yes.
That's a great line.
Because he was wearing his blue jacket, and he says when he goes into the bank, they say, that's the guy that won the contest. Because he went to the bank and deposited, I think that year he won $2.3 million. So yes, he's bank famous.
Yeah.
Smart with his money.
Smart with his money.
Very smart.
Yes.
What'd you buy with it? I still drive, what was it, the Nissan?
2011 Nissan.
Yeah.
2011
still driving
Nissan
around.
Maxima.
There you go.
Investing my money. I'm doing it for later on in my life. Good for him. How about this? Paulie and I find this fascinating every single week, and it was on part one. You can look at the lower right when you're showing the selections. 31 no picks in week one, and it goes on for like the first 7-8 weeks of the year. Like every single year, people forget their picks in.
It does, and we actually cover that in a further episode about what no pick means, and then how proxies are here to help, and if you don't get a pick in, what that means, all of that. So we actually touch on that and dive into that a bit more because it's such a talking point. How do you make it to week 6 and you don't put a pick in? It's unbelievable.
Yep. The excuses or the reasons, fantastic. I can't wait for that. Right off the bat, Maddox, Dana White, that's excellent. That was phenomenal. I enjoyed that. Kevin from Rocco's is in it. as well. So you got everything covered here with the eclectic mix of people right off the bat.
We really try. We really try and get a wide swath of individuals coming in from all over the country. We get some people, if there's anybody who are like former players or kind of, people in the...
Or past characters.
Or past characters, absolutely. We bring them back. So our group of people expands every year because we have our group from season 1 who come back for season 2. We have the new characters from season 2. And then as we enter into season 3, which we're starting to film already, we're going to bring back people from season 1, season 2, and then expand it for season 3. So it's a chore. It's a lot that we cover and that we follow. But, we love it. We get to love all of our contestants and all the people that we
Every year the contest gets bigger, but every year our story gets bigger, right? And we meet new people, and we do the best we can to tell the story that is Circa Survivor.
So realistically, Quest for 14.2 million is the name of the show. Again, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here on VSiN. What do you two expect for the number to grow to this year?
I think it goes over 20 million.
Yeah, and you'll see in the show, hopefully everybody watches all 10 episodes, that, especially in episode 1, we touch on that specifically, and you guys saw it, that the forecast last year, 10 million was a guarantee. We ended up at 14. The forecast, as we interviewed people from Circa who are, running the contest, where do they think it'll go? Well, they think, yes, we'll surpass 10. It'll get to 11. It'll get to 12. It wasn't until we released the documentary on season 1 that it shot up to 14. So the documentary really did feed the contest. So we hope this will do the same now as we start the release tomorrow for the documentary, the first 10 episodes, with all 10 episodes, that this thing really should surpass 20 million.
One thing that we do on the documentary, or try to do, is we paint the picture that anyone can play this contest. Right. If you have $1,000, you come and sign up, and you're in. And if you have one ticket, or you do max entry 10, or you bring a friend and you do 20 together, whatever you do, anyone can play this thing. Anyone can win. We do the best we can to explain what monetizing means and hedging means and chopping means and all of that to really break down the contest and the inner workings of the contest and the transparency of the contest. Because I know who you pick and you know who I pick. It's all right there on a spreadsheet, right? There's no, there's no hiding it. So we do the best we can to tell the story of the contest, make it as easy as we can to follow, but then really develop a bit of drama as everyone gets knocked out in the first couple weeks, and then what do we do, and how many people are left, and when do you start selling entries, and then later in the episodes we see people that have multiple entries left, and we're like, well, how did that happen? So there's quite a bit of a story here.
And how do they play that? I mean, that becomes really fascinating. How do you play it when you've got multiple entries versus people who just have one entry? So, and you guys know this full well. It's you guys are in part of the contest as well. It's The machinations of it are really fascinating.
Yes, I love the Urlacher quote when you talk to Brian Urlacher about, and it ties into the contest and also VSiN, about, hey, I played the game, I have all this intel, and I know I can't pick my nose. that was hilarious about I can't pick a winner and how tough it is. Circa Survivor: The Quest for 14 Million makes its debut tomorrow here on VSiN. 10-part documentary on the world's largest legal football contest follows contestants as they chase the $14.2 million prize. Episodes start tomorrow night through August 9th, August 12th through the 16th, 9 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, vsin.com/survivor, vsin.com/survivor, 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
To your point, Stephen, when it kind of shot up last year after the show came out and was on VSiN and running various spots, I don't know how people watch this and say, yeah, I'm not going to get in. Like my reaction would be, if I watched it and I didn't live here, and I didn't play in the contest, I'd be like, I have to get to Vegas and be in this thing.
And that's actually part of the reason why the marketing team here at Circa said, hey, let's get it out a little bit earlier this year, so people have a chance to watch it and then get to Vegas to sign up. Because, of course, part of the reason for the documentary is to get as many eyes on it as possible, and get as many people in the pool to grow this thing and continue the world's largest legal sports betting contest.
There you go. Again, 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. Gentlemen, thank you for the time. We appreciate that today.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.